Hi, my name is Garrett. Today is April 30th, 2023, and today, for my transportation systems class, I'm going to be going over safety regulations for motor carriers. So with motor transportation being one of the most useful and effective ways of transportation in today's world and economy, there are some regulations that they have to follow, as they can't just get behind the truck and start driving, of course. Now, these rules have been set in place by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations, or FMCSR for short. And there are, in fact, quite a few rules for them to follow. So let's get started. And obviously, these rules don't just apply to truck drivers, these apply to everyone within the business that's involved. So these be from dispatchers to managers, or even trainers. So first off, and this should be a pretty obvious one, is carrying hazardous materials. These materials being anything that can cause harm to anyone or the environment. So with these hazardous materials, there are about 9 classes of them, and the stickers get put on the front, the side, or the back of the truck, and these basically contain information on what is in the carrier, what is getting delivered. And it is very important that these trucks get checked, because if they don't, before they leave, if they're having hazardous materials in the back of the truck and they're not secured, then that's not safe. I mean, they're going to fall over the road, cause accidents. There could be explosions. There could be things that happen that it causes so many accidents. And taking the proper safety inspections is pretty much the key. Another regulation that can also apply to material or waste material is the weight carry limit that truck drivers must meet in order to stay light enough to where they won't have any accidents from the weight. Now, depending on the state that you're in, some states have different weight capacity guidelines than others. So wherever the said driver is employed, it's always good to check what the maximum weight limit would be, but they would have that written down anyways as part of their regulations and guidelines. And this rule is obviously here for a good reason. If the truck exceeds the weight limit, which is a lot, it will have troubles turning. If it falls over, it's going to be horrible. It would have troubles driving. It wouldn't be able to make the truck move. There would be a lot of problems if there was tons of weight. Because imagine if your car had a ton of weight on top of it. It would be almost impossible to drive it around. Not to mention the fact that it would look hilarious at the same time. But incredibly dangerous, because cars were not meant for that. Trucks were. And some other regulations are pretty self-explanatory and simple, like making sure every seatbelt is fastened, making sure everything is in good condition in the driver's seat, and the truck itself is in good shape and runs through inspection. And a lot of the other stuff comes down to the driver too, like making sure his license is updated and making sure he properly knows how to handle a vehicle. And one regulation in particular that I want to talk about that is overlooked, but it happens more than you think, is driving under the influence. Luckily, with this regulation, organizations have started issuing breathalyzer tests to truck drivers before getting behind the wheel. That way they can test their alcohol levels and make sure that they're not abusing any substances before getting behind the wheel, as driving inebriated can cause accidents, as we're all aware of, as you should never get behind the wheel after drinking alcohol. And when becoming a trucker, there are a few expectations that have to be met. There will be a driving course that a person will have to go through and make sure that they pass in order to prove that they can operate a vehicle. They will also need to be 21 years of age to be a truck driver. And after these are met, then obviously the person that wants the career as a truck driver can have a good possibility of becoming one. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Those are just a few of the regulations. There's a lot of them. Definitely worth checking out. And if you're trying to become a truck driver, definitely check them out. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.